I'm telling you, this is why I keep my old stuff, man. I'm like, I would rather do the original physics, and now with this new Pro Skater 3 and 4, I'll have the original soundtrack while you won't.
That's true.
So
You go to Spotify and put Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 4 original soundtrack and
mute your
just overlay
TV.
it. Yeah.
I first got introduced to it in the Sega Dreamcast days. There used to be this kid that used to live at my parents' rental house, and he had it for the Dreamcast, and I wanted it forever and ever and ever. And my parents ended up buying it for me for the Nintendo 64, and it came in a blue cartridge. N64 Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. It was a blue cartridge, and it was one of those ones that like stood out, right? Because all the cartridges at the time were gray, and then you had that one Donkey Kong one that was yellow. You remember?
I do. And you need the expansion pack for that one, right?
Yeah, you need the expansion pack, and there was this blue one. I don't know why it was blue. I don't know whatever the story, but I love this game. It was very different though. It didn't have cutscenes you had on the CD because you couldn't put cutscenes on this kind of cartridge.
Yeah.
And so I had a less than ideal experience in the N64. And what I would have called a buddy of mine came over to my house one time and stole it.
He stole it?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, because when you're 11 years old, you're trusting people.
No, why didn't you stop him? Like, what were you doing?
I don't know that he, like, I didn't witness him stealing it. It was just my game was missing one day after he came over to the house.
Oh, wow.
And then I just never got it back.
So he did a heist on you, huh?
Yeah. But this is one of my favorite games because I wanted this game so badly, and the other guy that he wouldn't let me play it, so my got it for me, and I played the heck out of this game until somebody stole it. Which now, first thing I did was buy a Dreamcast, and then I have the original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater on the Dreamcast again.
And then, did you play it?
Yeah, I played that one, and then I do have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater came out with Tony Hawk 2X. I don't know the list of games on here. But when Xbox came out back in 2001, they came out with a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2X, which was like an enhanced version of Tony Hawk's 2, and I think it had like a couple of levels from Tony Hawk's 1. But anyway, super long story short, I have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 on the Xbox. And as much as I don't want to drop $50 on a new game, I'm probably going to drop $50 on Pro Skater 3 and 4.
You should get this game and compare it to the original and just like side by side, let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sick. That's
the mechanics. So I will tell you that from 1 and 2, right? Like it's so much better because in Tony Hawk's 1, you couldn't do manuals.
So you couldn't keep the combos going.
Yeah, you couldn't keep the combos going. But what pissed me off the most is on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, the physics. There used to be this very iconic level, the very first level. There was a run that you could do. You'd come down the ramp. There was like a long ramp. You'd come down, and you kind of like make a U-turn, go up a ramp, get some speed, come down, and you'd cut through some glass. Like there was like a glass cage up atop.
Yeah.
And you cut through it, and you land on the rail on the other side, and then you ollie onto another rail, and you like follow the rail across, and then there was like an actual like rail on the ground that you would ollie onto that and then follow that through. And that was like the ultimate combo because you couldn't manual back then. I've tried to nail that exact same combo in the new Tony Hawk, and it just won't do it anymore. Like they really altered the physics of that game to be more realistic and less not realistic.
So it's less arcadey, a little bit more.
Yeah, so I'm trying over here. I literally spent hours trying to redo that thing that I spent. I must have done it like 1,000 times when I was a kid. And I just can't redo it in the remake because it just won't let me.
So you mastered the old physics.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It sucks. Like this is why, again, you remember we've had these conversations about like, hey, it's worth buying the remakes because then you get to play them in the modern consoles. But I'm like, there's something about the original, Danny. You just can't take that away from me.
So like the Crash Bandicoot game that came out, the remake, where did you hear how it's like sped up a little bit compared to the original?
Did it speed it up?
So people can't like, I don't know, it's harder because the frames are they're faster. So it's like, oh my god.
I'm telling you, this is why I keep my old stuff, man. I'm like, I would rather do the original physics, and now with this new Pro Skater 3 and 4, I'll have the original soundtrack while you won't.
Well, that's true.
So
You go to Spotify and put Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 4 original soundtrack and
mute your
just overlay
TV.
it. Yeah.
And you know what's interesting? Like, I hate soundtracks in games. Like, I intentionally mute Grand Theft Auto soundtracks. Like,
Yeah.
the first thing I do every time I get in the car is shut that music down.
Really?
Yeah. First thing I do is like, where's the mute button on this thing?
So in Fortnite, you can drive around in cars and have music playing, like kind of like Grand Theft Auto, different radio
Yeah.
stations. I hate when they don't, like my teammates, the driver is in control of that. When they do not turn on the music, I'm like, bro, I want to jam out to Sabrina's Juno right now. What's happening?
What's that? Yeah. So, anyways, well, that's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 getting. It's coming out, I think, this week, if not already out. So again, I'm gonna get it, but I'm gonna wait for it to be on sale. So I'm thinking Christmas.